everyone, so today I wanted to talk about the 2025-2026 WNBA season. I wanted to talk about all the teams in the WNBA, what teams am I personally rooting for, what players am I rooting for, what agendas will I be pushing this upcoming season, and let's kind of get into it. So first off, I decided to start off with the Dallas Wings. So I didn't watch a whole lot of their games last season, if I'm being honest with you guys and everything. I remember seeing Arike ball out at the All-Star game. I'm like, wow, she's a special player, she's great, she dropped 34, that was great. So that was, you know, the little bit that I saw. I saw parts of their games and like whenever they played my teams, but I didn't really watch a whole lot of them. But I'm going to be watching them a lot this season. They're going to be my second favorite team because Paigebueckers was drafted #1 overall to them. And so I saw Paige in the 23-24 season, I believe, whenever they played Iowa. That was my first time actually seeing her play, and I thought, oh, like, she's really great. And then this past year, I caught some of the games in the tournament in real time. So I saw Oklahoma in real time where she balled out and everything. So that was a special moment. The Elite Eight versus USC, the Final Four versus UCLA, and then the championship game. And then I'm still basically on a UConn heater, so I've watched every single game this season pretty much, and I haven't been able to find Villanova January 5th, but I watched every single game. Going to be making a video about Paige's highlights from this past season because no one else did it. I think it's a historical season when you're having a 50-40-90 season and leading in assist to turnover ratio. I couldn't let that go to waste. So I'm working on Paige highlights, and I have a few other videos that I'm working on. That'll be on another YouTube channel. It's going to be called Anastasia Loves Hoops. When that video comes out, I will post it on this community tab. Not posting it on either of my channels I have now because of fear of copyright and maybe taking the channel down. That's happened before to some other channels. I don't want that to happen to me. I put a lot into all the content I've made over the years. I don't want to risk it, so I made another channel for that, but that will be coming soon. But yeah, just watching Paige's game, I am really impressed with the Paige tape. There's so much to like. I think that Paigebueckers is a generational player, a very special player. I don't know why us Paige fans get so much pushback when we say that Paige is generational. If you watch her play, it is so obvious how special that she is. Very clutch player as well. The NC State game, yeah, that was special. That was special. And so what do I like about Paige's game? It's a lot of things. Number one, I think that it's great that she's a 3-level scorer. She's great from 3. Her mid-range is really a staple in her game. She can finish at the rim and fight through that contact, and she just gets off a lot of tough shots and everything. Like, there's so many things that she can do there. So being a 3-level scorer, I think, is really important. And then the next thing is that Paige is extremely efficient. I did not care about efficiency at all before I really started watching Paigebueckers and her games back to back to back to back. And then consistently seeing how efficient that she is in terms of, you know, the assist to turnover ratio and everything like that, in terms of her shot selection and everything. And when you're looking at true shooting percentages and all those other things, I really value efficiency now. I think that it's really important for a point guard specifically. But yeah, I really care about efficiency. Paige is the efficiency queen. She's great at just making consistently great decisions, not turning the ball over, getting assists, making sure that her teammates eat in that respect. Another thing that I really appreciate as well is the fact that she's so great being a point guard, being on ball, facilitating easy scoring opportunities for her teammate, the spacing that she creates, setting screens whenever she needs to as well. Like, there's just so many things that she does great, and the pressure that she's going to be taking off because a lot of people are going to be focused on her on the court, so that leaves her teammates to be open. The light was flickering, so I turned it off, but basically I also appreciate just the fact that she's such a great floor general. Like, she just sees so many different things. She plays the game in a really smart way, and also the fact that she has such great poise while playing the game and everything like that. No moment is ever too much for Paige. She's going to come through in the clutch, and I said this before, but being clutch really matters to me in sports. If you cannot get it done in the biggest moments with all the pressure in the world on you, I can't respect you. I'm sorry, I cannot respect you. That's going to happen to every athlete at some point in time. I need to see how you handle it, and she's really great at handling the pressure and just having that poise, which I think is really important in sports as well. I think Paige's defense is absolutely incredible when you see how she's able to get the block, get a steal, multiple games last year with 5 blocks, which is absolutely insane. Get the deflection, getting the shot clock violation. She does a lot that doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. Her help defense is great. Like, she's really great on defense. Okay, so I really appreciate what she's doing there. You have how versatile that she is as a player when you look at her being able to play the 1 through the 4 and everything, so I appreciate that. And then she can guard the 1 through the 4 as well. Like, I don't really think there's any flaws in Paige's game. I really don't. Like, I think that Paige is a very complete player, and the more that I watch of her games, the more that I like just so much fun to watch, so electric, a generational player, really, really special. I'm excited to see what Paige does this season with the Dallas Wings specifically. Huge fan. And so I think that she's going to be averaging 17, 6, and 5. I think she's going to be doing that on 53% true shooting. And I also did predict 2 triple doubles, so just want to get that on the record and everything. I don't know why some people act like Paige is not going to average that. I don't know. I don't think that that's crazy to say at all. Another thing I really appreciate about Paige is her consistency. Like, she always puts up great numbers and everything. Like, it's to a point where if Paige has 14, 15 points in a game, it's a bad game for her and everything like that. Even in the last 2 games of the tournament with her having 16 and 17 points, still adds a lot of value to the floor on defense, as already discussed, so you have that as well. And also speaking on her consistency, like, she did an interview with Flage, which I really agreed. Flage was just like, what I like about you is your consistency. She was like, you can have highlights of you doing the same stuff and everything. She was like, that's pro level, and I agree. And looking at her this season, she just does the same things great on a consistent basis, putting up great numbers, being efficient. And yeah, I'm watching every single game that she's played in UConn. I'm kind of watching them out of order, and it's just the same stuff that you come to appreciate. So she's just really great in terms of that. She's just a bucket. She's just a bucket and everything like that. She can take over a game when she absolutely needs to and score a lot of points, but she's really very much team first, and like she said, making sure that they're getting the best shot available and assisting her teammates and everything like that. Some people want to call her passive and everything like that. I think she's really a team player. She was selfish, like, you know, Gino and everyone wanted her to be. She could really average way more points, but you know, she plays the game the right way. She gets the team involved, and she was still averaging like 20 points every single game her last season at UConn and everything. So I think in the league, she obviously has to adjust to the physicality. It'll take some time and everything. I think she's more built with that because she's used to taking the contact, leaning into the contact. She has to adjust to that, but I think she will just fine. And I think when it's all said and done, Paige will be a Hall of Famer with multiple championships. Also, another thing I will say is that I'm glad that Paige is with the Dallas Wings because I'm from here and I can go to some of the games, and I will be going to the game against the Fever, and I'm really, really excited for that game specifically. So in the end, it really worked out for Paige to come here and everything. I really wanted her to go to the Sparks at first because I thought that big three kind of would have ate, but I'm really glad that she's coming to us. I'm really glad that she's coming to us. I think she's going to do great things for us. The second she was drafted, I bought the jersey. I'm sorry, huge Paige fan. So yeah, I spent a lot of time talking about Paige, but there's a lot to like in her game. Okay, so excited to watch Paige, obviously. And then you have Arike. Arike is just a bucket. Like I said, the first time I remember seeing her was at All-Star game where she dropped 34, and she's just incredible from three. And so yeah, like Arike is just a lot of fun to watch, and I'm excited for her and Paige to play together. We saw some stuff in the preseason. I thought they looked great. If you wanted to know my thoughts on the preseason games, I have reviewed those. I will definitely link those below if you would like to watch. And so you have that as well. You have that as well, which is something that I appreciate. And Arike is just a baller, man. So excited for that. Dijonaicarrington is excellent on defense. I saw some Connecticut Sun games last year, and yeah, she's great on defense, but she can also score you 10, 11, 12 points a game. So I was saying in one of my videos how Paige has to adjust to the physicality of the league and everything, but I see how hard she's working on defense, and it's going to translate for her. And someone was like, Dijonay is definitely going to help her with her defense, which I certainly agree. Dijonay is locked down on defense, and yeah, I appreciate Dijonaicarrington a lot, so I think that she'll be great for this team. Nalysasmith, I like her as a player. She got a lot of hate last year from the Fever fans, which is unfortunate. She switched teams in a better position, so you got that. Maddie Segrist, you know, I saw in some of the preseason games. She does a lot, and I appreciate her. There's immediate impact. Like I said, there was that play where Arike hits the three, it bounces off, and then she tips the ball up in the air to where Paige can get that assist for Arike. Those things that don't show up on the stat sheet are incredibly important to the game, so I think that she should definitely be starting as well. I will say in regards to Dallas, the post play, I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it and everything like that. Nalysasmith will be good. Maddie Segrist will be good for this team. I don't know what they're going to do at the 5 position, and yeah, making sure you get the lineups right and the rotations right is really key. I definitely will say that, so we'll see how it goes as the season develops and how the defense and all those other things, but I think Dallas can get one of those last few playoff spots. I don't know. I think Paige is going to help a lot. I thought Quinterly had some good showings. Isaiah James had some good showings. We'll see how everything is with the chemistry. I thought that it looked better the second game, but throughout the season, how that developed with the defense, with the coaching, all those things, I think that there's going to be some great stuff. I think that there's going to be some great stuff. Really excited to watch Paige's first year in the W. And yeah, spent a lot more time talking about them than anticipated, but I just love Paige's game so much, and I love what I've seen from this team so far. I think there's been a lot of good things, so I'm excited to watch them. Next team I want to talk about is the Chicago Sky. So they're probably my favorite WNBA team. So I started watching the WNBA last year, and specifically the Chicago Sky. I watched the majority of the games just because of Angelreese. You see my videos. I'm a big Angelreese fan, one of my favorite players and one of the best forwards in the W, in my opinion. Every time I make a video on Angelreese on here on TikTok, people shit on her and everything like that. But if you actually watch Angelreese's game, she's a phenomenal player, okay? She's averaging a double-double, and people don't want to give her enough credit for that, but consistently averaging that. And she broke the record for most consecutive double-doubles, which is absolutely insane what she's able to get done there. The tenacity with the rebounding, and like I say, people shit on rebounding because Angel does it. And someone was saying this too, but every single coach who has won a championship always is talking about rebounding. It's very important to make sure the other teams don't get second chance opportunities on offense, and defensively, it's very important to get it done. And you see teams lose games because they can't rebound. I don't know why people act like rebounding is such a bad thing, but Angel's great with the rebounding as well. She plays lockdown defense. That one game versus the Connecticut Sun on DeWanna Bonner, she locked her down. You know, they got the shot clock violation. She should have made an all defensive team last season. I always say this, but there was a video and it was like 5 minutes of all of Angelreese's steals from last season. So she had 5 minutes worth of steals, and yet she doesn't make an all defensive team. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Every time you take Angel off the floor, the other team goes on a run because she's the main one who plays defense on that team along with Camilla. But I will be pushing heavily for Angelreese to get defensive player of the year. And yeah, she's just awesome on defense. I think it's time. She should have made defensive teams all last season, and she said she wants to make a defensive team last season. I think let's get it. I think Angelreese defensive player of the year. I'll definitely be pushing that. And just her motor, like I always say, a heart of a champion. She works her ass off on that court. It doesn't matter how much they're down. Like, she's going to give her all when she gets on that court. And she just has a dog in her. She just has a dog in her. Like, she just works so hard. I think she's a lot of fun to watch. Just her energy, the way that she motivates her teammates. I think Angelreese is awesome. I really do. I'm a huge fan of Angelreese. I just don't get the hate. I really do not get the hate, all because of some taunting during the national championship game that they ended up winning. Who cares? Who cares? I don't know. Angel doesn't care. Caitlyn doesn't care. I'm getting compared makes no sense because Angel's a post and Caitlyn's a guard. It makes no sense. Yeah, all that to say, I love Angelreese. I'm excited to see her playing more point forward this season. She's working on the mid-range jump shot. She's working on the three. And I just love that they're instilling the confidence in her to take more of those shots. She hit a few threes last season and everything. She hit a few mid-ranges last season. There were times where she just kind of hesitated with it, and I'm glad that this new coaching staff is empowering her, like, do this, play the point forward. She's going to get her assist up this season and everything like that. And we'll see. If she plays, you know, point forward a lot this season, she could probably be like top 10 in assists this season. I don't really think that that's crazy to say. NBA. And there was this video of Kim Mulkey, and it was during LSU, and she was like, look, don't talk about all the things that she can't do. She's like, she's won at every single level. She could literally lead our team in assists. Like, Angel is great at, you know, sharing the ball and facilitating the offense and getting assists. And people don't talk about that enough in Angel's game. But, you know, I'm excited to see her play more point forward this season. I'm excited for that. Camilla had some great moments last season. She was hurt toward the beginning of the season. I also think that the rotations last season were awful. Why are Angel and Camilla not closing out the games together? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You need both of them on defense. You need both of them on defense. So not having them close out games at certain points last year made no sense to me. It made no sense to me as well. And just some of the assignments on like where they were getting put on, like the game versus the Aces where they lost because Asia hit that layup at the end. Why were certain people not put certain places? I don't know. It's just issues with that. But I think Camilla's a great player. You know, she's going into this season healthy. She played in China. And so just excited to see what she does. I think that this is going to be a huge leap for her, obviously. So I like what Camilla does a lot. You know, I think she is a great player. Hailey Van Lith, she started to move me preseason. Not gonna lie, I wasn't that sold on her before. I'll be honest with you guys. But, you know, seeing how hard that she was working on defense, seeing how great that she was in the assist game, I think all that matters. It's just like, what are you doing when your shot isn't falling, okay? When your shot's not falling, I don't want to see you padding on the bench. I want to see you getting involved in assists. I want to see you playing defense. I want to see you doing all those other things that sometimes they don't show up on the stat sheet but are still very important. So, you know, I like what I saw from her. She hit some threes. She got some assists. You know, she works hard. So, you know, I'm sold on Hailey Van Lith. We'll see what she's got, but, you know, I'm sold on her now. Mariah Jefferson, she had some good moments last season. I think, you know, maybe she'll be the second or third point guard on this team. She's not the starting point guard, if we're being real. Michaela had some good moments last season for us, so I appreciated her as well. Courtney Vandersloot, I said this on TikTok, but we pray to have a guard that can actually facilitate and feed the post, okay? Seeing that pick and roll with Camilla, that's going to be great this season. Seeing her feed Angel, just seeing everybody get involved this season, it'll be great. Also, Ariel Atkins, I saw some good stuff from her. Her hitting some threes, her playing great defense, so that'll be great as well. Rachel Banham had some good moments for us that last preseason game. Why is she starting at the 1? I said Rachel Banham needs to play shooting guard. No shade, no shade. She don't need to be starting shooting guard. We can all agree on that. You know, she can be the second shooting guard. She has some good moments, but she also has some bad moments. When she's on, she's great. When she's off, it's tough to watch. I'll be honest. So there was kind of some thoughts on some of the returning people and everything like that. Some other people, I don't know. I feel like when I watched these preseason games, I was more so watching what Angel and Camilla were doing specifically. I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on some of these new players, if I'm being honest with you guys. Overall, excited to watch the Chicago Sky last season. I've said this before, but toward the end last year, it got very grim with the Chicago Sky. After the 27-10 game from Angel, it was just never the same, if we're being honest. Like, as fans, and we said this on Twitter and we got hate for it, but you could see Angel being iced out multiple times, her asking for the ball, them not giving it to her, the guards consistently having Brick City. I'm looking at you, Dana Evans, because what Dana Evans did to the Chicago Sky last season was domestic terrorism. You have to watch it. You have to watch it. It got to a point I would be shocked where she made a shot. Like, you don't even understand what she was doing to us last season. So you had the guards being selfish, not getting the assist up, not feeding the post, having Brick City, and so that's, you're just not going to win games that way. You had the coaching. I thought that the rotations last season were awful. That was my biggest complaint. You had the fact that she was just not using her challenges enough, so that was really frustrating for me as well. The locker room, you could just tell it just disintegrated towards the end as well. I think that Jeff made the right decisions in terms of the players that he got rid of, getting rid of the coach, and I was happy. Like, everything that he did is exactly what needed to be done. Some people feel a way about that and everything, but I personally don't. I'm sorry. They went, I think, 13-27 last season. Okay, without Angel, they are probably a single win team. Angel did everything that she could. She got hurt towards the end, which is unfortunate. They were making a playoff push, you know. It is what it is, but it just got very grim. It just got very grim and everything. It's just the same mistakes that keep being made. It's like, why aren't you adjusting with your rotations? Why aren't you taking enough challenges? Why is the spacing looking like this? It was just so many issues that I kept seeing over and over and over again. And I just couldn't deal with this coaching for another year. I couldn't deal with it. So thank you, Jeff, for making the decisions and firing who needs to be fired. Thank you, because I couldn't deal with it. Okay, my joy got taken after that 27-10 game. It got taken. I wanted my joy back. And so, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just excited to see what Angel Camilla do year 2. And I'm glad that they got some shooters in this team. Glad they got a point guard that can facilitate, that can view the post. I'm glad that Tyler Marsh, you know, he seems to be doing great things. He said he wants Angel to be doing everything. Same thing with Camilla. Like, he really wants them to expand their game. Even Angel, like, she was being asked about kind of playing like the point guard and everything like that. And she was basically saying, like, I'm just showing things you guys haven't seen before. She was like, I was a wing in college. I had to transition into being a post player. And Tyler told me, like, look, I need you to play point guard sometimes. So just Angel showing more of her skill set, and Camilla and just developing in that way. I think the coaching, I think the new coaching staff, I think the new players that they brought in. It's all about team basketball at the end of the day. The number one thing that I hate watching in basketball is players who are selfish, okay? If you're not having a great shooting night, pass the fucking ball. Get the assist. Like, I don't know what's so hard about that. If you keep break after break after break after break, get the assist. I don't know what's so hard about that and everything like that. And so, yeah, like, just playing great team basketball, passing the ball when you need to, facilitating, easing, scoring opportunities. Like, that's really what it's all about for me. You know, great team chemistry, all those things. And so it looks like they're going to be doing that this season. I'm very excited for the Chicago Sky, probably my favorite team. We team Angelreese over here. I'm sorry. You don't like Angelreese? My channel's not the place for you. I'm sorry. Like, I don't tolerate angelreese. I don't. I'm sorry. I also will say for the Chicago Sky, I definitely think that they can finish around like 5, 6, 7 range, and I think that they'll make the playoffs this year for sure. I really do. I think the Chicago Sky is going to be better than most people are getting them credit for, and I think that the huge change in coaching is going to help tremendously. Next team I want to talk about is the Minnesota Lynx. So all these teams have graphics for all the players who made it. The Minnesota Lynx still hasn't posted them. Maybe by the time I'm editing, it'll be out. But basically, you know, the main players, you got Napheesacollier. I started watching last year around the Olympics. I'm still kind of recovering from her injury there. I think toward the end, like, I kind of started to see Napheesacollier be Napheesacollier. Then I was kind of bought it. I'm like, wow, she's a really great player and everything. I watched some of the games of the finals last year, and her and McBride, the carry job that they were doing has to be studied. I always say this, but Napheesacollier is awesome. I mean, she can score at all 3 levels. She got Defensive Player of the Year last year. I think Napheesacollier is just a great player, a great franchise player. So, you know, that's kind of when I was like, okay, I'm a fan of her. I'm a fan of this team. I'll be watching a lot more next year. So you have that. And I agree with people that they need to get Napheesa a true point guard. Courtney Williams is not the answer, no shade. She's not the answer, no shade. Please. The preseason game that I watched, I think it was the first one. What were they doing with the offense? And I know you're not supposed to take preseason games to heart, and they're going to develop and everything. And I have to stress that, obviously. But they need to get a real point guard. Let's be serious. McBride, awesome player, you know, great at what she does as well. So you have that. Courtney Williams can have some good moments, and then she can have some moments where she can be bad, at least from what I saw and everything. I think there's LYNX as well, which I think she had some good moments as well. I might be blanking on some players. They did make the graphic and everything. Yeah, they got some good players. I think that Cheryl Reeve is a good coach. Unfortunate that they lost in the finals last year. Like I said, there were some questionable calls by the refs, but at the same time, they missed some easy shots, you know, some shots that they definitely should have made. And McBride and Collier can't do it by themselves. They cannot do it by themselves. So you had that as well. You had that as well. So yeah, I think they'll be a good team going to the finals last season. I would love to see them win the chip this season. I don't think they did a whole lot in the draft to really give them the help that they need. But who knows? They could win this year, and I really want them to win this year. So we shall see in that. And I will be definitely pushing for Napheesacollier to win MVP this season. But, you know, huge fan of Napheesacollier, what they got going on in Minnesota. I will watch every single game. Now, those are going to be my top 3 teams. So my number 1, Chicago Sky, 2, Dallas Wings, and number 3, Minnesota Lynx. These are all the teams I'm going to be rooting for heavily. I'm going to watch every single game and the agendas that I'll be pushing. Next up, I'll talk about the Indianafever and kind of my thoughts on the players here. Obviously, you got to start off with Caitlinclark. I think Caitlinclark is a great player and everything like that. Obviously, I think the fans are annoying as hell every time I praise Paige. Here they go being annoying as fuck and trying to hate on Paige and everything like that. A lot of y'all mad because Paige actually cares about black people, which is what I tweeted, and y'all were hating on me and everything like that. But Caitlinclark is a great player. Okay, she's great from 3. She can finish at the rim. She can do really well with that with her layups. I think she should probably lean into that more. The coach said that she's working on, you know, kind of developing other ways that she can finish, not just doing it from 3. You know, she has to develop the mid-range jump shot. We don't see her take a whole lot of those. So you have that as well and everything. So I think that she's going to continue to develop in that way. I thought the preseason game, that one where she hit that 3 from behind, I think where she hit the scoring record or something like that, I thought that that was cool. So Caitlinclark is fun to watch when she's on. I will definitely say that and everything. I think the turnovers, it has to be worked on. She led the league in turnovers last season, which it's just bad. It's just bad. She has to work on the turnovers. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like I said, every Caitlinclark game, you're going to have 3 to 4 back-breaking turnovers. She has to clean that up. And then in terms of her defense, Caitlinclark is not really a great defensive player, and I think it's a multiple product thing. So I think sometimes it's like she does try, but she just loses the person that she's guarding and everything like that. Her help defense isn't the best, so I think defensively she just gets beat a lot even when she does try. So there's that. But then there's times where she does try and she can get the block. She can get the steal. So she's kind of iffy on defense. If you need someone to guard on the defensive possession, you're not taking Caitlinclark, if we're going to be honest with ourselves. And then you just see there's times where she completely just doesn't even try. She just lets them blow past her and get the layup, get the shot and everything like that. So I think her defense could definitely use some work and everything like that. I mean, I think, I just have to say that. I have to say that. Some people want to give her more credit defensively than she deserves. Like, Caitlinclark is just very iffy on defense, if we're being real with ourselves. Could be more efficient as well. I already kind of said that with the turnovers, but Caitlinclark's a great player. I don't know. Her fans might be hating because I said the truth about her game, but I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. Obviously, one of the best point guards in the league. I feel like that's a given. And then you also have Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell, one of the best shooting guards in the league. Very electric, okay? I watched some Fever games last season, and Kelsey Mitchell just really blew me away, so she's a really great player as well. You have Aaliyah Boston. The chemistry with Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston last season, they really developed it. Got really smart in that pick and roll and everything like that. So the chemistry with Aaliyah Boston, I think, is going to continue to blossom. So I think that that will be great as well. Sophie Cunningham, I watched some of the Mercury games last season. She had some good moments. She had some bad moments. I kind of agree. She kind of is a dirty player. When kikiiriafen kind of owned her in a preseason game, she ate, and the streets say she MAGA, and we don't support that around here. So I have nothing for Sophie Cunningham. I have nothing for her. Lexi Hall had some good moments. I saw some of her in Unrivaled playing with Angel and everything. So she had some good moments. More of a role player, at least for me at this point and everything like that. And DeWanna Bonner, I've saw some moments of her, you know, I think she's a good player and everything like that. I can't really fully critique anyone's game who I haven't watched enough games to critique and everything like that. So if I don't talk about some of these players, it's because I have not watched enough of them to kind of say what their flaws are, what I like about the game and what I don't. It's really no disrespect to the player, it's just having respect enough to say, look, I don't know everything about their game, so I'm not even gonna speak on it. So yeah, they got some new additions this season. They got DeWanna, they got Sophie Cunningham and all these other people and everything like that. And the expectation for the Fever is really high this year, okay? It's basically championship or bust, okay? That's basically what Caitlin's saying. That's what the fan base is saying. It's championship or bust. And, you know, DeWanna was like, you know, there shouldn't be pressure on us and everything. We haven't even played yet. I just disagree with that because the way the fans been chirping, what Caitlin's been saying, like, look, I really want to win this. Really want to get the championship. They brought in Stephanie White. I don't know. If they don't get far in the playoffs, there's going to be some uncomfortable conversations to be had. I can tell you that much. We will see what happens with the new additions. I think the new coaching with Stephanie White definitely going to help a lot and everything. I thought that Christy Sides, she really needed to be let go last season. With the Fever games that I watched, like, she just irritated me so bad with challenges. Like, she always had to be told by Caitlin, challenge the call. Her rotations, I think she got better with that, but some of the rotations, why is Erica Wheeler on my screen, bro? There's this one play that pissed me off perennially. So she gets past the ball. She's all the way at the end of the court on this side. Okay, easy fucking layup. She doesn't take the layup. She just dribbles and then comes back down and passes. Why the fuck when you take the layup? And bro, every time Erica Wheeler came on my screen, it's rage bait, bro. It's rage bait. It's domestic terrorism. I'm so glad Erica Wheeler is off that team. She never should have been starting to begin with. Okay, she never should have been starting to begin with, bro. Erica Wheeler is so ass, bro. Just Christy Side, she had to go. Like, at a certain point, it was just, they were kind of doing success in spite of her and everything like that. Like, Caitlinclark was really carrying. Okay? So I was so happy that she got let go. Stephanie White, you know, was really smart in the press conferences. And we also have to talk about the racism of the Fever fan base. We have to talk about it. Like I said, a lot of you guys are racist towards Angel and everything like that. So you have that and just hating on any player that isn't Caitlinclark. Like I said, the page hate is really ridiculous. Some of the shit that y'all be saying, like, yo, I can't believe this shit for real. I can't believe this shit for real. And just hating on any player that's not her, hating on her teammates. Whenever Kelsey Mitchell didn't have the best game last season, the vitriol that she got, ridiculous. Nalyssasmith, the vitriol that she got, ridiculous. So basically in an interview, Stephanie White was like, look, we kind of want to, like, not get too involved in the noise about, like, the racism coming out from in our players and to protect them and everything like that. But also we don't want to tolerate racism and everything like that from the fan base and everything. So she's gonna try, but at the same time, I kind of feel like the damage has already been done. In terms of the narratives with Caitlyn and Angel specifically, I don't think that it's Caitlyn's fault that these narratives started and everything, obviously. However, I do think that there's more that she should have said that would have stopped it from progressing to this point. And let me explain. So basically, after everything went down, like, she was asked about it and she was like, I don't think Angel should be criticized for what she did at all. Like, I'm a big fan of hers and everything. People still kept hating. You know, during the season, you saw a lot of racism spewed towards her team members when we're looking at Nalysasmith, Kelseymitchell at times, etc. And then you had her being asked about, you know, the racism in the league and all those other things. And she just dodged the question. She's like, I just want to focus on basketball, which is a very privileged stance to take if we're keeping it real with ourselves, you know? And so there was a point where she was asked, how do you feel about people using your image for white supremacy and great white hope and everything like that? And then she eventually had to answer it. Like, there's no way you can get out of that. And she's like, it's not okay to use my name for those things. But at that point, I fear it was too late. You know, I feel like she should have shut down the narratives and everything like that with people using her image for that and everything way earlier and just said, like, look, I don't tolerate racism, anything like that. Some of them have shifted because they found out she's not a Republican and that she actually, you know, is a Democrat with the stuff that she's liked and everything like that. So some of them have, but a lot of people continue to use Caitlinclark's name for those harmful narratives and rhetoric and things like that, which I think ultimately is a problem. And again, it's not Caitlin's fault that it started. However, I feel like she could have said more to prevent it and everything. And whenever you don't just, you know, take it head on and everything like that and say, I don't tolerate racism, these are the kind of things that can happen. See what happens this season, but I think the narrative has just ballooned too much and I don't really think there's much we can do if I'm keeping it honest with you guys, because the racism that I see from these Fever fans is ridiculous. It's ridiculous and everything like that. And when I called it out on TikTok, in my comment section, proving me right, calling me everything but a child of God, because I called you guys out for consistently being racist towards the black players in this league. And I think that that's unacceptable. So I'll watch some Fever games this season and everything like that because Caitlinclark is a great player. Okay, so I'll definitely watch for her. I'll watch for some Kelsey Mitchell. It's just the fan base is just so insufferable. So I'll say that. Next up, let's talk about the Atlanta Dream. And so another team I don't really have a dog in the fight for necessarily. Okay, and so I will say I did see some of Tahina Paopau's highlights from the preseason. I was impressed. So I'll watch, you know, sometimes to see her play. I love Alicia Gray. You know, whenever she was doing the skills challenge, she won the 3-point contest and the skills challenge. That was absolutely insane. So that's kind of when I got familiar with her game. I might have saw her a few times, but that was the first time it kind of like clicked in, like, oh, she's a really good player. She's just been riding away in the Atlanta Dream. So I'll watch some games for her. I think Alicia Gray is great. I hear great things about Brittany Grimer. I did see some of the Phoenixmercury games last season and everything. So you have that. I hear great things things about Brian Howard as well. So you have that. So I'll watch some games. I'm not too invested in them and everything like that. The new coach is very big on shooting the three. So there's that, but I'm not that invested in the Atlanta Dream, if I'm being honest with you guys. Next up, let's talk about the LA Sparks. Let's talk about the LA Sparks. Okay, so here's going to be the roster on the screen and everything. I wish I had the photos of these so you could see like a photo of the people I'm talking about. So I will say I like Kelsey Plum a lot as a player. Okay, I watched a bunch of the Aces games last year for Kate Martin, and then I really started to enjoy players like Ajawilson, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Jackieyoung. You know, those are the core players and everything like that. And so I love Kelsey Plum's game. I think when she's on, she's super fun to watch. So I love Kelsey Plum as a player. So I'll definitely watch some of these games for Kelsey Plum specifically, absolutely. And then I like Rickea Jackson. I've seen some of the highlights, and you know, she's a good player obviously, and we know that Cameron Brink tore her ACL. She's going to be coming back and everything, and great defensive player. And she said, you know, I need to work on my offense. So we'll see what she's got coming up and everything like that. I will say that. So I hear great things about Sarah Ashley Barker. She dropped 41 game. I think they still lost, which is crazy, but I put her on one of my fantasy teams. I don't know. I think she's going to cook this season. And then you also have Dearica Hamby. I hear good things about her as well. So yeah, I think they're not going to be the best team this season. Like the streets, the people who actually watch the Sparks games basically telling me that they're not good on defense and that they don't think they're going to be good this season. So yeah, I don't know. There was a point where I really wanted Paige to be at LA Spark. Like the aesthetic would have ate a big three of her, and then you would have had Cameron Brink, and then you would have Rickea Jackson. It would have ate, but because I'm from Dallas, I'm kind of happy that, you know, Paige is on Dallas and everything like that. I'll watch some games for them. Next up, let's talk about the Phoenixmercury. Okay, so players I really want to highlight, Kahleahcopper. Kahleahcopper is an awesome player, okay? And yeah, I will watch some of the games for her because I really like Kahleah as a player. I think she's one of the best players in the league, obviously, and everything. And there was one game specifically that stood out. I believe it was against the Indianafever. I think DT was out. I think Brittany Griner was out. Like, they had a bunch of the starters out. And Kahleahcopper almost carried them to that win. She almost carried them to win. She worked her ass off. I think she had over 30 points. Like, Kahleahcopper, when she's on, Kahleahcopper is just different, man. She is just different. I like Kahleahcopper a lot as a player, so I'll watch some games for her. Other notable players, you got Alyssa Thomas. She's new this season. My thoughts on Alyssa Thomas, I hear great things about her, and the fact that she's playing through 2 torn labrums is crazy. I will say that. I don't really go up for Alyssa Thomas because of the choke slam against Angelreese last season. I thought that that was unnecessary and everything like that, so I don't really pay Alyssa Thomas a whole lot of mind. I'm gonna keep her with you guys, so that's my thoughts on Alyssa Thomas. Satu, I hear various things about her. People are split on her. I hear great things about her on one hand, and on the other hand, I hear that she's a ball hog and everything like that, and that she gave up on Dallas last season. So yeah, I'm not really that familiar with her game, if I'm being honest. I saw some highlights. She looks like a good player. I will say I thought it was odd that the coach was celebrating that she wasn't taking mid-range jump shots and that she was taking 3. Why wouldn't you want your player to take mid-range jump shots? It's objectively an easier shot. I don't know, so you have that as well, so I will say that. The rest of the players, I can't really speak on it. Like I said, I'll watch some games for Kahleahcopper because I think she's awesome, but besides that, I'm not going to be heavily invested in the Phoenixmercury if I'm keeping it real with you guys. Next up, let's talk about New York Liberty. Okay, so, you know, franchise players here, you got Breanna Stewart, amazing player and everything like that. She got hurt, and so she had to get surgery to correct that and everything. I saw in the preseason she looks good, but I mean, Stewie, she's a great player. I watched some of the games last season, and Stewie just really stands out. So, you know, I feel like her resume speaks for itself, obviously. Sabrina Ionescu, she had some good moments. She had some good moments. I saw the highlight from the last preseason game, and she had a lot of great moments. So, you know, she's a great player as well and everything. So you had that. Jonquil Jones, you know, she had some good moments. She had some good moments. Obviously, a great player. So you had that. Natasha Cloud, I saw some of her on the Mercury last season. Great player. And so you had that as well. So those are the players I think I'm most familiar with. Isabel Harrison, you will pay for what you did at the Chicago Sky last season. If you watch, you understand what she did to us. So yeah, the Liberty, I used to be a fan of them. You know, last season I was watching and everything. Stewie doing Stewie things. Like, I was having fun. Okay, after that second Chicago Sky game, I wiped my hands. I'm not a fan of Liberty no more. I'm not a fan of Liberty no more. Like, I just thought it was odd. Like, just the way that they were crowding Angel in the paint. I think it was like 5-on-1. Like, 5-on-1 is crazy, bro. 5-on-1 was crazy. They were just doing too much. I just didn't like it after that. Jonquil Jones be pissing me off the way she plays sometimes. She's a good player, but some of the shit that she be doing, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you're doing, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't really care for the Liberty. I don't know. Stewie is gonna be great. I'll watch some of their games that they're playing my team, but I'm not a Liberty fan. I'm not a Liberty fan no more. Next up, let's talk about the Golden State Valkyries. So here's our roster. Only player I'm familiar with is Kate Martin because I saw her play on some of the Aces games last season and everything like that. A good role player, I will say that, but I was gonna watch them this season, but I'm so out. The Cheyenne Sellers thing happened, and you know, ultimately she ends up getting away from the Atlanta Dream. People think that there's issues with her knee and everything like that, but you have the fact that everybody that you drafted, you cut them from the team. I don't know. I don't understand it. There's just something about the Valkyries, like, business-wise that doesn't make any sense and everything. How are your 2 leading preseason scorers not on the team? I don't know. And people said that they're maybe tanking for, like, AZ Fudd next year, which I don't want AZ Fudd to be a Valkyrie. I really do not. I really do not. Okay. I want AZ Fudd to be a Chicago Sky so bad you don't even understand. Okay. A generational player, a lights-out shooter who plays excellent defense. She plays the game the right way. I love AZ Fudd. Please do not get her on this damn team, please. Don't get her on this team. Don't get her on the Mystics. Don't get her on the Liberty. Wait, that was great to talk about in the fucking Bobby. Y'all have Stewie and y'all have Sabrina. Enough, please. Like, I just need her to be a Chicago Sky. Like, y'all don't understand. So yeah, maybe they're taking for AZ, maybe they're taking for Juju down the road, maybe they're taking for Sarah Strong. I don't know. I'm not watching them this season. I don't care. Like, I'm so out on them. Next up, we got the Seattle Storm. I watched them in the games last season to see Nukimu play. She didn't play a whole lot. Understandable. You know, I will say that at least. And so some of the notable players, you got Nneka Onwumike. I believe I'm pronouncing her. Hopefully I am. You know, great player. Skylar Diggins is a great player. She just irritates me because it's like she's always like whining about something on the court. She's always trying to get the challenge. Like, she just kind of irritates me with the on-court stuff. You know, as far as that, I watched some interviews outside of that, like the interview with Angel. I mean, she seems cool outside the court. It's just on the court, like, she'd be whining too much for me. Like, that's why she'd be pissing me off. Erica Wheeler, I told you guys, I think she's ass. So there's that and everything. Alicia Clark, she can hit some good shots sometimes, and then other times she's not good. And then their number 2 pick, Dominique Malunga. I hear good things about her. Okay, she's very young. So those are just the players that I'm a little bit familiar with. And even then, I'm not extremely familiar. I couldn't tell you, you know, the pros and the cons of these players' games and everything like that. Skylar Diggins said, like, hey, like, this is the best roster I played on. So we'll see, you know, what happens there. There was allegations of bullying by Jewel Lloyd. She has left the team, as we know. So I think that this game versus Aces will be good, but I don't know a whole lot about the Seattle Storm. If I'm keeping it real, I'm kind of indifferent. Okay, so next up, let's talk about the Aces. So like I said, I watched a fair amount of the Aces games last season, okay? And, you know, some of their most important players, Ajawilson, her MVP last season was most certainly deserved. I think she broke the scoring record for last season, so you had that. And she led in pretty much every major statistic and everything like that. So Ajawilson was historic. Ajawilson's a great player, so that MVP was deserved. There's nothing that Ajawilson can't do on the floor. She's incredible, obviously. Jackieyoung, I said this, but I think that Jackieyoung's underrated. Maybe it's because she plays with Ajawilson. I don't know, but I think her nickname is the Silent Assassin. She put my Dallas Wings in hell, okay? She gave us fucking work, okay? Like, that game in the preseason, she absolutely ate. Like, the assist, like, she was just on fire. Like, Jackieyoung is a great player. She doesn't get enough, so I like Jackieyoung a lot. Chelsea Gray, watched her a lot in Unrivaled, and the passes that she can make, all the game winners that she hit. I think that Chelsea Gray is a fantastic player. Jewel Lloyd, I've seen, you know, some good things from her. I don't know a whole lot about her game, but she looked good in the preseason game. I will say that. And then you have Aaliyah Nye, which I hear good things about her too. So those are kind of the players. Oh, fucking Dana Evans. Y'all know I don't like Dana Evans. I'm not talking about her no more. I watch some games because I like the players that I stated. However, I can't watch that Aces whistle all season. I cannot watch every single game, bro. Literally every single time any player does anything, it's a foul and they're getting to the line. They be making shit up to go to the line. Like, bro, the Aces whistle, it's prevalent. I can't watch 44 games of the Aces whistle. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'll watch some of the games, but I'm not about to do that. But yeah, those are the notable players in the Aces and everything like that. So yeah, I'm kind of out on them. Like, I was more so of a fan last year. I'm a fan of specific players, and I'm out on them because number 1, the whistle, and number 2, because Becky Hammond is evil as fuck. I'm sorry, bro. Like, after I heard about all that stuff with De'Erica Hamby and like what she was doing with her pregnancy, I'm just like, I can't really look at them the same, no shade. I can't really look at them the same, no shade, if I'm being honest with you guys. Next up, let's talk about the Connecticut Sun. I really don't have a dog in this fight. Marina Mayberry, she was on the Sky last season. She had some good moments. She wanted to trade. She wanted to go ring chasing, bit her in the ass because not only did she not win, they got rid of the whole starting 5, and she tried to leave and they're like, you're not leaving, so she's fucked. And JC Soden, I don't really know much about her and everything like that. I haven't really watched any of these players a whole lot and everything, so I'll definitely say that. I hear good things about Tina Charles. I hear good things about Anissa Morrow. I hear good things about Sanaya Rivers. Like, I've heard good things about these players. It's just I don't really watch the team. I'm not gonna be that invested. The only time I'll watch the Connecticut Sun is when my team's playing the Connecticut Sun. So I don't really have a dog in that fight necessarily. And then the last team I guess I got is the Washington Mystics. So they're the only team right now that hasn't posted like the little graphic with all the players on it. So I'm sure I'm gonna forget about some players, but some notable players that at least come to mind. Aaliyah Edwards. I'm watching a lot of UConn games and everything like that. Aaliyah Edwards is a good player. She can get in the paint. She can play defense. I think from what I've seen in college, I don't know how she's developed in the pros because I didn't watch a whole lot of Mystics games last season. I think that she takes some dumb fouls and everything like that, like just things that she does. I'm just like, why are you drawing fouls and everything like that? She just gets in foul trouble far too often for me, at least. So that's kind of what I've seen from her that I didn't necessarily like, but you know, she's a good player. She's a good player. And you also have the new additions that they got. Soniacitron. I saw the highlights. She looks like a good player. I only hear good things about her, you know, defensively, offensively. You know, I see some good things. Everyone's saying her game looks like it's translated so far. So I hear only good things about Citron. Georgia A. Moreno, she tore her ACL, so you had that. Kikiiriafen, only hear good things. You know, I've seen good highlights from her, so you know, shout out to her. Also have, I think Stephanie Dolson's on this team. I hear good things about her as well. I'm trying not to forget any of their key players. Like, I don't really watch the Mystics like that. No shade. Everyone knows the Mystics are a poverty franchise. That's why everyone who wants AZ to go to the Mystics, no, please. No Mystics, no Valkyries, no New York Liberty, please. None of those teams for AZ FUD. Please, please, please. No Sabrina Carpenter. Brittany Sykes, saw her in Unrivaled. I think toward the end she started to get better because the games that I watched with her in it toward the beginning, I wanted to pull my hair out. But at the end, she got it together. So yeah, I think those are kind of like the main players. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody on the Mystics. I just don't really watch them. I don't really care about them. Now let me talk about, you know, rivalries and things that I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. Paige versus Caitlyn, like I kind of talked about earlier. I think that'll be good. And then you have Angel versus Nafeesa. Like every time they play each other, it just means more, you can tell. So I think that that'll be good. New York versus Aces is always a treat. Okay, the Sparks versus the Aces is always going to be a treat, so you kind of already know that going in as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to those games specifically, I will say. So yeah, I think that those are kind of like the main rivalries I'm keying in on and stuff that I'm excited to see personally. And just to kind of key on this, here are my clients for the season, aka my favorite players and ones that I'm rooting for. So like I already said, Paige Bueckers, one of my favorites, rooting for her for Rookie of the Year. Angelreese, rooting for her for Defensive Player of the Year. Napheesacollier, I'm rooting for her for MVP. So those are going to be all my clients and everything. Those are like my top 3 favorite players to watch. Other players that I like is already discussed. Kelsey Plum, kahleahcopper, Jackieyoung as well. Caitlinclark can be fun to watch as well. Alicia Gray, I really like to watch her as well. Stewie, obviously great as well. Forgot to add her in as well. Yeah, those are some other players that I'll watch. So yeah, mainly going to be focusing on my 3 teams. I might watch some of the primetime games because I did that for the NFL last season. And that's one of the best things that I could have done because I saw some really cool stuff in real time. Okay, Jaden Daniels, that Hail Mary that he threw versus the Chicago Bears, I literally tuned in at the last second and I saw that in real time. Okay, so that was awesome. The Dallas versus Tampa Bay game, that felt like a playoff game. Jared Goff's perfect game that he had, I think, versus the Seahawks, something like that. Caught in a lot of games just because I was like, I'm gonna watch the primetime. So I might watch the primetime games and everything like that. What are the storylines? Okay, what are the stakes? So you also have that as well. So that's definitely something I'm going to be heated on. But I think it'll be interesting to see all the new players coming into the league, all the new coaching changes and everything like that. See how everyone develops with team chemistry. And I just wanted to make a video like this because I've talked about this on TikTok, but I uploaded those videos on my second channel. I feel like some people may not know that I have 2 channels. So I kind of wanted to put everything that I think of all the teams on one channel. I wanted to talk about everyone in depth. I wanted to wait till all the little graphics came out, which is why I'm doing this now because I wanted to yesterday, but they didn't put out their graphics. So I just thought it'd be fun to have everything in one place. I got my Everyone Watches Women's Sports t-shirt. Kathy as the commissioner sucks. She needs to be fired. Let me know what you guys think down below though. What do you think of my opinions? What do you think of the teams? What do you think of the narratives that are being pushed and all those other things? And we can kind of continue. Also, let me know what you think of the hair. I tried to do like a middle part. I kind of messed it up. A little pony. Like this is just something different. I never wear my hair like this, but I wanted something that kind of looks sleek, kind of look classic for this video today. So, you know, let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, I'm going to be covering and doing reviews of those 3 teams that I stated, whatever games that I watched, talking about the narratives all season. Definitely subscribe to see more and everything. But that'll be it though. Thank you so much for watching. You can like this video if you did enjoy it. You can subscribe to this channel for more if you hit the bell. I post new videos so you don't miss when new stuff comes out. First link below will be the second channel where I talk about music, pop culture, all the things. And I'm also going to have my social media. So my Twitter is at the Anastasia25. I'll try to put that on the screen if you'd like to follow me. If you want to see like all my narratives in real time before I make the videos, you can follow me on Twitter. My Blue Sky is the same. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the things. All my social media will be linked down below if you'd like to follow me. That's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.